You guys, it has been almost 3 years later since posting a part 2 to my 4-part high school series. Go watch part 1. I'm not gonna make you guys hunt for it. I will have the link down in my description. I cannot believe it's taken me this long. Well, I do kind of believe it because I have slacked off. I wanted to wait until I was done with college, but one of my friends recently sent a photo of me from sophomore year, and I was like, thank goodness sophomore year, because I was like a queen sophomore year. I look good. Like freshman year, like my outfits were like casual, but sophomore year, I was like starting to step it up. That's the thing with sophomore year, is like a step up from being a freshman. You're no longer the lame freshman that doesn't know where a classroom is or whatnot. Like you kind of have an idea of high school now, and that was when I was starting to try to go a little out of my comfort zone, and that's why I felt like junior and senior years were like the best years because of my sophomore year. Like that was the turning point year. Oh, the yearbook didn't say turning point. Well, it was my turning point year. But we're gonna look back at my yearbook and share some story times as well. That's the whole point of like this series on my channel. I'm gonna do a college series, but I'm gonna wait until the high school series is done because I want to be sure I graduate college. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna graduate college. I just want to be graduated from college before I do that series. So right now we're gonna enjoy a high school throwback. So hey you guys, my name is Melanie. You can call me Mel. My friends typically call me Mels. Typically, like if I go on a date with like a guy, he'll call me Mel, whoever the guy is. It'll just be like, hey Mel. And I'm just like no, in my head I'm like, oh yeah, hey. No, but no, like hold on, I was trying to say, like in my head I'm like, that's so cute, I'm like freaking out, and on the outside I'm like, yeah, hey, you know, hey. I'm so cringy sometimes. Oh my gosh, you know what, don't go and watch part 1. I used to edit and film videos so differently back then. Oh my god. So just disregard that. But I did leave you guys on a cliffhanger almost 3 years later, and I'm really sorry. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. I watched the video recently, so I know what we're gonna talk about. Like I said, it's a mix of story time, and then we'll look at my yearbook as well. First off, let's take a look at the cover. It's What Are You Looking At? I remember my sophomore year, like this cover was like kind of a big deal to yearbook. I remember it just being like, I don't know, like I just remember it like being talked about a lot, like yeah, so it's really cool. Let's share some stories. We'll look at the yearbook as we go. We'll see my picture. I loved my picture. I was like, yeah, that was a good photo. I popped off. Where do we start? Okay. I have this story. It kind of is from the last video I filmed 3 years ago almost. In the freshman year video, I had my first kiss. Back in that video, I called him like my ex-boyfriend. On a technicality, when I really look back on it, he really wasn't like an ex-boyfriend because we only dated for a month during summer break. And then when school started, I wanted out of the relationship. That's why I like don't really consider it a relationship or an ex-boyfriend when I look back on it. That's why I'm like, don't watch that video. I had my first kiss when I was 15. This was like summer break, end of freshman year, going to sophomore year. I gotta like say this little bit before going to sophomore year so it gives some context. I had met a guy in like a friend group, kind of like a high school friend. I have had so many high school friend groups. It is insane. Literally, like high school is so small if you think about it. The boy I had my first kiss with, and then my first real like ex-boyfriend, first relationship. They knew each other through sports. Like I remember like hating that too. Ah, that's so deep. That's like later time, but it's just wild to me, like the people you meet and it's like a full circle moment and you go to high school together. It's like, what? So me and the boy I had my first kiss with, we met at a park. He really liked me. I didn't really like him, but because all of a sudden he was like putting an effort and showing interest, I was like, wow, this is the first guy that likes me. So then I was like, okay, I like you. Oh gosh, I mean, I guess like he could have been my type, like typical white boy, but he was like a blonde and I like brunette boys more, but I do kind of like blonde guy. But this guy, like he had hair but not that much, so I don't know, I was just kind of like unsure. I was very particular with my type like back in high school. I still kind of am, but I'm a little bit more like flexible with it now because I'm older, I'm wiser, I care more about the heart and the personality in a guy now, where like in high school, if the guy wasn't cute, get out of here. Like that's so terrible, but that used to be me. That's actually why like freshman year, believe it or not, I did friend zone like all the guys in my friend group. None of the guys were just like my picture perfect looking guy, which I feel so terrible, but that was that. And sophomore year, that was a continuation. So yeah, the boy I had my first kiss with, I remember the kiss was like forced. It was like on a park bench. I remembered I was overthinking it. I was like, am I getting in trouble with my parents if I kiss a boy? At 15, I was so lame. And then he like shut me up and kissed me, and I was like, really? That's it? Like, I don't know, it wasn't all special as like in the movies or anything. It was just like a kiss, and he wasn't even that great of a kisser. Like, we kissed a few times after, and it was okay. Basically, for the summer break, we dated for a month, me and this guy. We kind of broke up like in between. Well, what had happened was, okay, he was kind of arrogant and said a lot of things I didn't really like. He went on like a beach vacation with like his best friend, and one of the offensive things he was like saying was like, well, I don't know, I was offended by it. He was saying like, oh, like there's like these pretty girls, but like I can't stop thinking about you. But it was like the fact that still it was like, really, you're gonna say there's like pretty girls while you're like talking to me? Like, I understand it's normal, it's human attraction. Like, I'm not trying to be like, don't like look, or, you know, I'm not trying to be like that. I just didn't like that, because I'm thinking, why would you like say that? It was like one of those things where I'm like, why would he say that? But he said a lot of offensive things. It was like one other offensive thing, but I shouldn't share about it on the channel. And I think that was why I'm like, okay, we're done. I was harsh. Oh my gosh, I really was. I mean, I was 15. I had never even been in a relationship. I didn't know how that worked. It freaked me out, honestly, back then. I mean, I'm 24 now, so obviously I've like dated now, but back then, like, I didn't know what to do. Honestly, if I can give my 15-year-old self advice, I would, but you kind of can't. You have to learn through life as you go. Finally, we get close to the end of summer, the Sunday before Monday that I had to go back to school. I think it was that time frame. Back in the day, I had like an iPod that I would use for text. The technology was so weird back then in my like time frame, because I didn't even have like a phone quite yet. I did end up getting one though. I want to say definitely by my junior year. Definitely by my junior year. I might have actually, I think my sophomore year though, lost my iPod. Yeah, I remembered I was so heartbroken at the time. Over a silly little iPod. No, I dropped it, and I was like, I'm gonna find it. It's outside. I didn't find it. I don't know what happened to it. But I had to have like my dad help me call the iPod company, Apple, who knows at the time, and like cancel, so then if somebody did find it, they couldn't hack it. So it was all good. Because I had like diaries about my first kiss, so I was like, no one needs to see that. So I had to get that locked out. I think it was sophomore year I got a phone, but I was doing more extracurriculars going into junior, senior year, so I really did need a phone. I had an Android at the time. Now I have an iPhone. I like iPhone way better personally. There's just a lot of reasons for like photos and editing and videos, good quality like this. Anyways, over like the iPod text app thing, I don't even remember what it was called, you guys. So old school, I feel like, I swear, with technology now. And I remember texting the boy I had my first kiss with being like, we're breaking up. Like, I was just straight to the point. I didn't waste any time. And on the text thing, you can also do phone calls. He called me immediately right after, and I think I did answer, and I was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling it. I think I told him like, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, but the real tea was that I didn't like how arrogant he was. He said a lot of offensive things. I kind of felt belittled by him, and he wasn't my typical type. But like at the time, and I mean, even if I'm like 24 and in a situation like that, like, why would I want to tell a guy like, oh yeah, you have a terrible personality? Like, I feel like even if it was something to this day, I don't know how I would handle that. Obviously, like, more mature and would have a conversation, just being like, maybe like your personality is like not a good match for mine. Yeah, like maybe that's how I would word it now, where like back in high school I was just like, we're done, we're breaking up, over. That's it. Hasta la vista, sayonara. That was like literally what I did. He called me and was like, what? I don't understand. And I'm just like, I just don't want to be in a relationship, it's not working out, I'm sorry, we're done. First day of school, I was going into sophomore year. I'm a sophomore, I'm feeling on top of the world. Not quite, because I'm not an upper class, but I'm thinking it's a new year with new opportunities, a single woman, even though I was barely dating and just had my first kiss. That was me like going into sophomore year, feeling so cool, cloud nine, let's go. No one's gonna know about like my first kiss. And I don't know, maybe people did. I don't really care. I was always very private. The only relationship that was kind of more public was my first ever relationship, my upperclassmen years, because, well, high school's small, you can't really like fake it. I go into sophomore year, first day of school, ready to go, and around lunchtime I'm thinking, oh, I'm just gonna hang out with my friends in the swim area, this is gonna be great, first day of school, yeah, like no boyfriend, because I like probably still wanted to be a little flirt, not gonna lie, as I'm still single in my adult years and still a little flirt. I go into the swim area, and the boy I had my first kiss with was there waiting for me. I think one of my guy friends told me like, hey, he wants to talk with you. I don't want to say names, so I was just saying he. And I was like, oh no, because I'm thinking like, I thought I made myself clear. I think he just wanted like a mature conversation, and if I was just a little bit more mature and had more experience with dating, which I didn't because I was 15 and just had my first kiss, you know, obviously like I'd look back and do the situation differently. Again, I don't know how I would have, but probably, like I said, like just been like, we just don't align. Yet another thing at the time where I kind of felt like lifestyle wise, like, oh, it wasn't gonna work out. Like back then I was like, yeah, I don't know, there was like more to it as well. I forgot about that. I won't get into it because I don't want anyone from high school to try to be a detective and find out who this is, so I'm trying to be careful what all I say. I'm like, well, I guess I gotta face it and like talk with him. I was not going to talk with him, but I made it look like I did, acting. I like walk in the swim area, try to look all dopey and sad, when really I was happy. I was glad. I was thriving. But I was walking trying to look all sad. Well, because I was nervous. I'm like, I don't really want to talk to him. But I was thriving. And then I swerved it to the locker room. And I was like, he can't come in here. And so then literally I had so much time to plan out to get to the other side of school. Like, it was a fiasco the first day of school during lunch. Like, I tell ya. Oh my gosh. I remember like after like I broke up with him, I was literally like, I'm never gonna see him around. High school's so huge. I saw him around for a big part of sophomore year. I mean, even like my junior year, but not as much. It kind of died down because he was a senior by then. But I saw him around a lot. Oh my gosh. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I never even knew about this guy my freshman year. And then my sophomore year, I can't get away. I meet up with one of my guy friends. That was always just a good friend to me. And I was like, my ex, me thinking he was like an ex. I was like, he's maybe gonna come up to me and like talk with me. If he does, like avoid him. Like, I was just a savage. So he did end up coming up to me. I was hoping he wasn't going to, but he did. I don't even remember what he said, but I think he just needed to yell at me and get it off his chest, which cool for him. But honestly, I was like blacked out. I don't remember what he said at all. But I remember after he stormed off and left, I'm like, finally, he's not bothering me anymore. Oh my gosh, I was so savage. I was terrible. But my guy friend was like, thank goodness you broke up with him. Even though it was barely anything, but it was so funny. And I remember being like, yeah, right. Like, I felt so cool. But I would literally see this guy around all the time, and he'd always kind of be mean with some rude remarks, and it was annoying. I will say by the time my junior year rolled around, like, him and I were a little bit more mature, and that's for another story time in the next part. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. Actually, the boy I had my very first kiss with as well, he participated in this event. Oh no, because now everyone's gonna find out who it is. And I was like in journalism. I actually did newspaper, so step up from journalism. That's what I mean. Sophomore year, I had like more opportunity. Literally, he was like performing in one of the acts, and I was like, of course he is. And it was so awkward and uncomfortable because there was a scene at the show, because I had to go to the show, that the boy I had my first kiss with like had his shirt off, and he did kind of look good, but summer break he didn't look good. It's okay. No, I didn't like that guy. He wasn't the one. It's okay. But it was just like funny but uncomfortable. And then I think I started to have that moment of like, wow, I was really harsh. Why did I break up with him? And then I was like, should have I handled it differently? That's when I started to learn like, okay, like, you know, in the future, Melanie, like try to handle something differently. And then it was bad because for a period of time I was like, wow, I shouldn't have broken up with this guy that I had my first kiss with. Like, it was pretty bad at one point. I started like getting in my head, and of course the friend ended up winning. And I remembered, I was like, I didn't even want to talk to his friend either because they were like best friends. So thankfully, I don't know how I did it, but I got somebody else to get a quote from me. Even though I wrote the story. I was savage. But yeah, I'm so shy. I really was though when I was in high school, especially sophomore year. I remember like I was the publicity manager on like the newspaper team, and I was always about school spirit. I wanted to try to get my name out there. So on every like poster, and it got signed off too, which I don't know how looking back, but I would literally write publicity manager Melanie Roberts. Oh, insane. Yeah, oh my gosh. And then it was funny because my senior year, everyone was like, Melanie, you were the publicity manager. I'm like, why does everyone remember? It was sophomore year. Like, I remember being like, who cares? Apparently people did because I put myself out there. I guess it worked. I mean, that was kind of the year of doing that. Has also, oh my gosh, I feel like so much has happened my sophomore year. I'm really trying to sum it up fast because this video is already going to be so long, so maybe we got a spitfire at this point. Oh, I kissed a guy at homecoming, and we realized we were better off as friends, so he ended up being like in my friend group. The weirdest thing ever. Only kissed one time. Realized like our ages were not quite alike. Well, okay, fine. Like, he was a freshman, I was a sophomore. I didn't want to date a freshman. He actually didn't want to date a sophomore, which I look back at that and I'm like, what? Guys will sometimes like older women. So that, looking back, kind of shocked me, not gonna lie. Like, now when I look back, I'm like, why wouldn't you want to date a sophomore? But you can see my shoes at the time. I'm like, I didn't want to date a freshman. So we just realized we were better off as friends, and we're in the friend group. And even like my long-term like high school sweetheart ex-boyfriend in my junior year was like completely cool with it too. Wildest thing ever. If anything, my high school ex was jealous of one of my guy friends that didn't even have an interest. Well, I think the tea was he did have an interest, but never like pursued it. So it's like, yeah, nothing happened. It's like, so that's the whole ordeal at a later time too. But I'm trying to think. So that had happened. So again, I got to all 4 years of high school. I was very very fortunate enough to go to University of Oregon for like a newspaper conference. I got to go like all 4 years. It was really cool. I went for like journalism the first year, and then when I was in newspaper, they made it for only newspaper students, so I got to go again. And then my junior year, I got to get lucky to go because I wasn't in newspaper, but I was like, hey, can I go? And then my senior year, I was like trying to kind of do that again. And then my advisor was like, you like need to be in the class this time. And I was like, okay, like I can try to make it work. I just needed like a year off from the paper at that time in junior year. So for my senior year, I was like, okay, like I'll be on the paper. I get it. I understand completely. And then I got to go my senior year. And that's, like I said, a whole story for the later videos, but let's not try to jump ahead. I'm just so excited for the series again. So homecoming, I originally was gonna go with my first kiss, but broke up. Then I was gonna go with one of my guy friends, and then I'm so embarrassing. There was a guy I did want to ask to homecoming. I had like a poster. I remember pulling him aside because I was in journalism, so I was able to like fake an interview with him about sports. I don't know. And I hid like the poster behind me. Like, I don't know how people didn't see this because like we were outside of like the swim lot inside, and I'm just like asking questions, trying to wait for the right time to ask him a homecoming, and then I just panicked. So then I didn't do it. I felt bad. I ditched one of my guy friends for a guy I had a crush on that I didn't even like follow through asking to homecoming. So that was how I ended up kissing a freshman boy at the dance. Oh my gosh. Make it make sense to me. That I ended up being friends with. So funny. And then the snowball dance, I did end up going with that guy friend that I was originally gonna go with. That was always just a friend. This guy I think like used to like me at the time. Yeah, he did. We were almost like gonna be a couple, but I just didn't fully feel it with him. There was guys where I was almost gonna date and I just didn't feel it, so I wasn't going to. I don't like to waste someone's time. That's just not like me. I'm so like lonely. I could waste someone's time if I wanted, but I don't want to. Like, that's just not who I am as a person, and it's not like the right thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do, and I'm not about that. So let's see. Ended up like doing the right thing and going with my guy friend to snowball because I didn't have a date, and I was like, I need to make up for it. So yeah, just to be a good friend. And I remember my guy friend was like super excited to go with me. He tried to kiss me at the dance and I dodged. Oh, I was such a savage, I swear. I mean, I still am a savage, but I mean, sophomore year, I was really a savage. But also my fashion popped off. In sports, I was lettering. I did water polo and swimming. I don't know how I lettered sophomore year, but I did. I looked so good. That year I went off. Like, honestly, I was on top of the world doing like sports, newspaper. I'm like, what else could I do? Then I decided to run for student council, actually. And I did not get in, as the spoiler alert. But I took away a lot, honestly, from it. You know, at the time, it really crushed me. I was like, wow, it's such a popularity contest. I mean, it kind of was. And I wasn't popular. But I will say, like, I don't know, I think after that election, though, I never really considered myself popular, but I think people did. I always thought popularity was, like, Instagram followers, like, numbers. I never really thought of, like, you as a person. That's so terrible, but that's how I always looked at it. Also, like, I didn't go to middle school with any of these people, so even though the populars, like, won over me, like, they knew these people since day one, and they were already in, like, student council, so they already had, like, leverage. Thankfully, there was another leadership class that, thankfully, only had an interview process, and I got in. But I remember people, weirdly enough, that didn't even know me that well, that started to get to know me because of elections, wanted me to be in student council. There was like social media comments about like Melanie should have been in. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'm like, it's okay. Teacher Melanie was VP at community college, so she fine. You know, back then I was like, gosh, not gonna lie, but I really was okay and was happy for everyone that won. And then some tea was that they even tried to get me in student co the following year because people like left the class, but I remember it didn't like follow through, and honestly that's okay. Like, I was content with the class I did. That's for junior year, but sophomore year I was really just getting my foot in the door. Let's just get into the yearbook now. I haven't seen it in like forever. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Oh my gosh, look at these signatures. We got Brian, we got Roberto, Victor, Sky. A lot of people just put their names. Oh, Roberto put, you're a great friend. That's sweet. You got great potential. Keep up the hard work towards your dreams. Hard work pays off. Love. That had to have been Brian. Okay. He was always a flirt. Me calling out the boys. Ismar was sweet. She said, you're such a great person, keeping you. Oh wait, Noah signed this too. Yeah, Brian and Noah were flirts. Let's see. Noah said, you have heart, girl. Follow through with everything you do and you will get wherever you want. The boys ain't wrong. This is so funny. Oh my gosh. This is so cool though, like how they did the yearbook. This was like the super fan section. I didn't start sitting there until like my upper class years. Yearbooks are kind of boring, not gonna lie. I remember always like being excited for the high school yearbooks, and then after you get them, they're kind of boring because then you're never really like in the yearbook, honestly. Not all students look forward to swimming. I was a swimmer. I lettered that year. What the heck? Oh my gosh. It's for the PE class. Yeah, PE swimming was so easy, you guys. So easy. Controversial decision. Was it worth it? I don't know. The band stuff looks cute. A chance to be seen outside the confines of the auditorium. Or pep band adds another dimension to the action when on the scene. In case you didn't know. I'm dying. They had a shoe section. I mean, I popped off of fashion this year, but I don't know. I feel like it was always like popular people that have like quotes and stuff in the yearbook. So I'm like, I don't care to read. They have zodiac signs. I am a Virgo. Not like I really care about that stuff, but I'm curious to see if it's like, yeah, me. So August 24 to September 22. Okay, personality traits. Efficient, focused, thorough. Okay. Can also be hypocritical. Demanding, self-conscious. Likes, routines, loyalty, honesty. I mean, honestly, dislikes, disruptions, tardiness, laziness. I mean, whoa, little freaky. I would like to think I'm not hypocritical, but maybe every once in a while sometimes. Somebody quoted, does it fit? I am somewhat similar to what my sign says I should be, but I don't put all my dice into it. That's fair, I agree. I don't believe in it enough to say that everything's true. It's just cool to see coincidences. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. 9%, which was me, were Virgos. So 201 students. 1 out of 201. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember this. Homecoming had like a disaster. But the seniors killed it though. They kept going with it. My skit, on the other hand, I forgot. I did the homecoming skit. Slayed. The sophomore class, slayed. I was on a chuck and like this. It was the easiest part. Seniors though, the music cut out, that was basically the tea. But they did really good, like, to keep on going. Oh, look how talented. This is so cool. I'm like, this is so cool. Also me, I'm like, I'm bored. Okay, let's see a quote. If you really knew me, would you look at me differently? I'm so dramatic. But like, I feel like on a real note though, like sometimes I think about that kind of stuff. Like if somebody truly did really know me, like would someone view me differently? I think that's why I get kind of guarded to open up to somebody, because I worry about that. Oh, so these are like little short stories. That's so cool. If you really knew me. Oh gosh. My first ex-boyfriend used to be on track. I won't show face, but I'll show, like, you'll get a rough idea. That is insane. Me being like, isn't that insane? I forgot about that. Super fans find the cheerleaders invaluable to the game environment. Welcome back, assembly. I did go to the assemblies because I was all about like school spirit. Looking to a new leader. Feature me. I'm just kidding. Here's a guy I'll cover that I wanted to go to homecoming with. Oh, you guys, I have one more story I forgot to share that was so good. But I gotta go back to like freshman year a little bit. Let's see. Let me try to get through any more pages. Oh, swimming. Oh my gosh. She was really good swim. We lost a lot of seniors last year, so everyone has had to step it up to take on the varsity team. Oh my gosh. You know, golf would have been cool to do, not gonna lie. We just get to like me at this point. Dance team always killed it. I feel like all throughout high school they got first. There could have been a year where maybe not, who knows, but I feel like most of the years they did. Ooh, that's fine me now. So weird looking back at everyone. Oh, one girl in my class said, I'm looking forward to retirement so I can be lazy and not do anything. Isn't that a mood? Wait, where's me? Okay, that's the next class. Hold on, I went a little too far. Where am I at? Me not knowing where I'm at. It's been a while since I looked at this. Oh, I found me. Oh my gosh, no way. I found me, you guys. I loved my sophomore year. She slayed. Could we see me? Could we see me? Could we see me? That's me. Oh my gosh, I'm so cute. She slayed. She slayed. She came to slay. At this point, we can go to the index and then share my final story. Haha, there's me. Ah. Water polo, varsity. We were all like practically almost varsity because it was a small team, but some people weren't. There's me. There's me again, swimming. I think that's all, but let me just make sure. I don't know if I was in newspaper or not. I'd have a tendency sometimes to miss out on photos. Oh my gosh, I found my first kiss. Wait, was I in this one? See, I forgot. I was in a club and I missed the photo. Yeah, I did. That's sad. Let's make sure. Was I in the paper? I don't remember. Please tell me. Yes, I was. I slayed for the newspaper photo though. I slayed in this dress. My fashion was so good. She popped off. Let's see, I'm right there. Melanie came here to slay. This was a cute way to end. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be interesting to see what everyone had to say. Thanks for being the true MVP, Carol. Thanks for being such a good co-TA. Yeah, because we all did TA class together. LOL. Tell your dad thanks for the cupcakes. My dad would always buy all those cupcakes. Oh my gosh, I have the best selfies ever with you. And I hope you have a wonderful summer, Maria. That was sweet. Hey, thanks for being so rad all the time. You did great this year and we will all miss you. Elizabeth. Miss me? I still had 2 more years. Oh, for summer. Okay, I get it. Els, I'm so glad we became close friends this year. You're honestly a light in my life. I'm not sure what I'd do without you. This girl was a good friend, honestly, like my sophomore year. You're an absolutely wonderful person and I hope you never never change that. Have a wonderful summer, my love, Miranda. P.S. Melanie Roberts. Okay, one of the announcements one time, the guy messed up my name. I don't know why. I thought no one paid attention. Everyone paid attention! All my friends from sports and class would call me that. I hate that. Don't call me that. Mel, thanks for being awesome and always being there for me. Love you, girl. Nachman. Oh, I love her so much. Have a great summer, Alex. It's always HAGS. Have a great summer. Olivia, so sweet. She said, Melanie, you are such a bright soul and will go very far. She was editor-in-chief. She slays. Miss her. Mel, I am so thankful we got a chance to be in a class together. This was a beautiful time where I got to get to know you all over again. I'm grateful for you, girl. Sam was one of my childhood friends, but out of a lot of like my friends in my childhood friend group, her and I like knew each other the least. This was like a full circle moment of like connecting the friendship, so that was really sweet. I forgot about that. Melanie, it was so much fun having you in biology. I will miss you a lot. Have a great summer, Yvonne. You're so awesome, Melanie. So good having you first period this year. Your good vibes and attitude is more appreciated than you know. Have a good summer, Mr. Thomas. Loved Mr. Thomas. Domingo said, have a great summer. Have a great summer, Sydney. Sophia said, have a great summer. Kylie said, have a great summer. HHS, HHS, HHS. I'm just kidding. Mrs. Chrisman said, thanks for your sweet and funny nature. I enjoy having you in class. Enjoy your summer and see you next year. Yeah, because I had like science classes. I had one more year of science after that. Melanie, you're a great person. I love how much you care about your school. That's right. I did. Have an amazing summer. Jaren, and you had a little sunshine. How cute. Oh, my tutor. Melanie, I am so proud of you and all your hard work in high school. It is a real joy to get to work with you as your tutor. It is wonderful to see you get so involved in various activities at school. That was the goal. Keep up the hard work and good luck with the coming year. Blessings, Miss Winters. So sweet. This is a long one. Whoa, I didn't realize. Emma said, Melanie, in the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. Never miss a single opportunity in life. That is what I regret the most. I never want you to live with regret. You are super sweet and a really nice person. So glad we got to know each other. You're going to be an amazing person and you're going to do amazing things. See you next year. Seth said, can't wait to see you next year. Smiley face. That's sweet. Mr. J said, you have grown so much in the last 2 years because I finished my sophomore year. I am so proud of you for all you accomplished. Keep working and you can accomplish anything. It's been a pleasure to have you in class. Have a great summer. Melanie, thank you for being a great inspiration to me in between water polo and swim. Have a great summer. I don't know who said that. Illy though. Don't screw up next year. Thanks, Amanda. Jamin said, another good year of newspaper. I love it. Simple man to the point. Have a great summer, fam. Okay, I don't know who said that. Okay, you're cool. Glad we met. Haley and Declan. Brandon said howdy. Not surprised. Oh my gosh. So I did look at the yearbook earlier just for a brief second to like make sure I had the right one I was reviewing. Saw this quote and I was like, what? Who said? I don't even know who signed this, but it's basically you're white trash, but at least you're attractive white trash. Like I saw that and was like, what? And then drew the trash can. Okay. I don't know who said that to me. I mean, I am a basic white girl, so somebody said we should talk. Okay. I don't know who that is though. I can't tell with some of the signatures. Mike for President 2016. Okay. Caleb said, thanks for the food. Always. You're welcome. Moses said, Melanie, you're a really nice person to everybody. I'm lucky to have you as a friend. My leadership advisor, Gonzo, said, what an awesome year in newspaper. I'm impressed with all the work you put in. Great job. So sweet. Oh, another fun fact with newspaper, y'all. I almost gave up because like I ended up having the same advisor for leadership. So I had him for like 3 years and it was like rough in the beginning with this advisor, but it was like beautiful at the end because I learned a lot. This advisor learned a lot about me. Like we worked hard together. I remembered pulling him aside in newspaper being like, I think I'm gonna leave because my stories like would not get signed by my advisor. And so I kept thinking like, I'm the problem. I'm not writing good stories. I need this for my grade. I don't understand. And so I remember pulling him to the side being like, maybe I should just leave. And I remember he told me like, no, like don't leave. Like you're doing okay. Like you're just learning, you know, like you're just trying to figure it out. Then I was like, I'm gonna go to leadership and have a different teacher. And then I got the same teacher. Like no, literally in newspaper, he sat us down being like, I'm moving on. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he was like to leadership and I was like, wait, no! So literally during the interview process, he was there, my advisor, and I was like, oh no. But it ended up all working out. In my senior year, I had more of a leadership role and like I communicated better with the same advisor. So love you, Gonzo. Oh, that's like a full circle moment. Word Holmes, have a nice summer, Caleb. Okay. Caleb, I think I know which Caleb that was. Mel, you are so amazingly awesome, no word. Okay. I can't wait to join your club and see you next year in swimming. Was I gonna try to make a club? I don't know. Melanie, you and me have been friends for a year and I'm glad we are. I hope we never not be friends. Love you, best friend. I don't know who said that. So I don't know if we're still friends or not. I don't know who said it. Melanie, you are chill. We've only talked once or twice, but you're really nice to people. Sorry, I'm getting a little tired. Melanie, you are chill and we've only talked once or twice, but you're really nice to people. Hope you have a good summer and hope we can be friends. Brandy, oh, that's so sweet. Haley said, you're probably the nicest person ever and you shared more food and coffee with me than anyone I've ever known. So thanks for that. Oh, and Gia included herself too with that. Oh, that's so nice. Melanie, you're a good friend and I'm glad of all your awards. Alex, oh, he didn't even do sports with me. He was just always such a supportive friend slash like classmate. Melanie, you're such a cutie. Wait, who said that? It was nice to know you this year. There's no signature. Probably one of my girls, but I don't know who. Ethan said, it's been great getting to know you this year. Thanks for always being happy and having a smile on your face. To be honest, you should add me on Facebook. Melaners, okay, no one calls me that. Have a really great summer and you're such an amazing person. I don't know who said that, but thank you so much. Okay, one more story and then we're gonna go because this video is so long. Sorry guys. So my freshman year, really fast, one of my guy friends was gonna take me to prom. It was like a fairy tale princess Disney themed prom, so I really wanted to go, and I had a guy friend that was a senior and didn't have anyone to go with, and I'm like, let's just do it. Friends go, yeah, sure. I ended up finding out on Valentine's Day that he really liked me. He wrote like a long, like detailed letter. Keep in mind, he's a senior, I'm a freshman. Age gap stuff at the time in high school is kind of weird and wrong, and I also just didn't like this guy more than a friend. But he was smart, articulate. I felt really bad, but I knew what I had to do, so I ended up declining to go to prom because like I just saw him as a friend and he really liked me, so I didn't think prom was gonna be like, I thought it was gonna be like lighthearted and happy, but I think because he liked me, I was like, I want to spend prom with someone I really like or special in like that kind of romantic way. So I felt so bad, but I knew like I couldn't go. So I almost had an opportunity to go to prom all 4 years, but not really, just the last 2, which was really worth it, and I'll talk about that in part 3 and 4, which I'm excited to talk about prom. I will make sure to do the final parts of this video not in another 3 years. I'll do it this year, I promise. Okay, and then my sophomore year, this guy, I thought he was really cute. Even in my adulthood years, I thought he was cute, but never like pursued anything. He was always kind of awkward and shy. I didn't think he liked me. I kind of felt like sophomore year I was awkward and shy. Another one of my friends, so separate friend now that was a freshman, was asking all of us in class, like, if you had to go to prom with someone like my sophomore year, who would you want to go with? And I said X, Y, and Z. So I said this guy's name that was a junior and thought he was cute, but he was awkward and shy. He kind of knew me, but not really, because like I said, I was trying to get to know people, but not quite yet. Literally, my freshman friend tagged us both in a comment on social media being like, hey, X, Y, and Z, you should take Melanie to prom. And I was like, no. But then I was like, you know, I don't think he'll read it. I find out years later, like way after high school, he read the comment because he was like, didn't you want to go to prom with me? And I remember being like, wait, you know, he had wished he'd taken me, he told me, but he was like, I was so awkward and shy. I was like, dude, I wouldn't have cared. I would have been like, we went to prom. It's okay though. It's really, it's fine. I loved going to prom when I did, honestly. This guy that I thought was cute is in a relationship now and they're really cute, but yeah. He was cute and I think he thought I was cute, but probably just something never felt right to ever be like more than friends. So we're still friends, it's all good. We always like were, nothing happened romantically, but a missed opportunity with prom, definitely sophomore year because I thought this guy was cute. But anyways, you guys, I'm hot and tired. I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in part 3 and 4 that I'm gonna upload this year, not in 3 almost years later. So subscribe, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys. Bye.